You get the call. Pretty excited about the call. You know, it's tell you about the story. Come and check out an hour, halfway. I may not know this either. And all here, and that's you know that that's your initial reaction.
You didn't know who QT was when you first met him, right? We have freshly got
The ripe young age of 9. Really like when he called me and my mom to his office for him one day, and he told me that he would like me to play the part. And
your own.
Well, you know, first off, Quentin is the ultimate cinephile. There are a handful of filmmakers that are true cinephiles, like put them up on Jeopardy type of cinephiles. Ask them anything about cinema history and they'll come up with the answer or close to it. And what I discovered, you know, he's not only a cinephile, but he almost has this sort of cultural knowledge about that time period, but also the music of that time period and television. And he started giving me, you know, episodes of every type of Western from the 60s you could ever imagine. A lot of movies, B and cult film. Oh, that's the other thing he's a cinephile about. B films that no one's ever heard of. Kung fu films, all of it. And so I started watching a lot of television from the 60s and a lot of B films that I'd never seen before. And it introduced me to this sort of whole culture of actors in the 60s and that time period that never quite made that transition with guys like, you know, Eddie Burns, Ralph Meeker, Ty Harden. And it kind of just threw and inundated me with this time period. You know, I watched a lot of classic films from that era. I watched a lot of movies, but it was a great immersive experience for me because I felt like he was trying to see what type of actor I was going to respond to. And we, you know, after floating through at least a dozen of them, this Ralph Meeker became the actor that I sort of honed in on because I saw that he never quite he did some movies afterwards, but he never quite made that step in his career. But I felt this amazing pathos in his performances, and I was like, well, he has to have the ability to be a good actor. You know, he meets, you know, Miss Butter's character, who's like this young Meryl Streep, awful, just like Julia was before we even started. And she's a consummate professional, an actress, exactly. And this sort of re-inspires and reawakens this sort of hunger and rigor to, well, gosh, maybe I should kind of study my craft and learn my lines, and not learn my lines, but learn my craft and really give it some focus rather than perpetually feeling sorry for myself.
And then you go in that trailer and you have just a meltdown, a breakdown. I've heard it described in many different ways. That's going to be an iconic meltdown of cinema.
Thank you.
And it was your idea. It was improvised. Tell me, how did that happen? Well, that's a good improv.
It was in the navigation of this character that he wrote, which I felt like was this semblance of the time period, just to make it quick. You know, Rick lives within the context of being on a movie set. He is an actor on a semi-good television show, and he's the new sort of, he's the old leading man that is now the heavy that's getting beaten up by the new leading man. And I felt like there just needed to be a turning point rather than just living within this Western of, you know, him really screwing up royally and having this sort of coming to Jesus moment of his psyche. And that led to that improvised sequence in the trailer, because after we did that, we were gonna try it 2 different ways, and then Quentin's like, well, we have to have you freak out in the trailer afterwards, and then come back like a Western, walking down the Western set, a Western within a Western, and you come back to the shootout, which is your acting scene, and you win the shootout. So that's it.
Brad, so who did you find that you know, who is the actor that Quentin turned you on to, or the stuntman?
Well, this is funny enough, I came to his house with a DVD in my pocket, and he had me come to his house with a film he had already put on on the screen that he was going to screen that night for us. And it was Billy Jack.
Yeah.
Just as kind of a starting point of a place to spring from. But we had talked a lot about the relationships, especially then the stuntman actor relationship. They invented much more, they had much more authorship over the stunts themselves. And there's been some classic pairings like Steve McQueen and Bud Eakins and Burt Reynolds and Hal Needham are quite infamous. And then I think lastly, really, I mean, I got to sit back and watch, you know? I mean, first of all, it was pretty automatic for Leo and I, just having relied on friends like this that we've had for so many decades, that you know, keep you calm, keep balanced, and they mean everything to me. So there was a natural starting point there as well. And then on top of it, you know, Rick's dealing with his problem, and Pussycat's a free spirit, and Kato's coming at me, and Dakota, Squeaky, was like, she was not backing down, and then there was Bruce Dern, which I'm still not sure what he was doing, but the scene was different, and you just want to take notes afterwards. But so I had the luxury of being able to like bounce off of all this, and it really is a collaborative sport.
So why did it take Brad Pitt and Leonardo Dicaprio this many years to finally get on the screen together?
There was a restraining order. I don't want to talk about it. It's water under the bridge now. We worked it out.
Things are good?
Things are great. You know, what's so interesting about the characters that he created, we use this, you have to understand.
I was not hiding outside his house in the bush.
We do these publicity tours, so we say this term a lot, but they were sort of two sides of the same coin, these characters. You know, it's like, and we knew, you know, he had to kind of, it was an amazing setup, and the fact that, you know, we both got to do this together, and we'll, you know, draw from our own experiences, especially in this industry, and these types of relationships. It was, like Brad said, it was kind of automatic. Like we walked up on set and kind of knew who these guys were, and I've said this many times, but you know, on the first day, Brad said to me, you know, "You're Rick fucking Dalton," as I'm walking on the set. That line kind of like just resonated with me, because that is the relationship. He's hungover, he's feeling sorry for himself, having this, you know, total breakdown, realizing that his career is, you know, withering away. But he's got that guy that's gonna say, "Hey, cheer up, man. You're a working actor. You're Rick fucking Dalton." And that really clicked. Our relationship just clicked on day one with that line. And it was improvised by him, and I used it again.
And then you could go home and fix your antenna.
Right.
Julia, what was it like whispering to Leonardo DiCaprio? That's the best acting.
How would you describe it? I would say, yeah, there can be a lot of takes at times. I think that, you know, he, as a writer-director, and a great writer-director, would be very attached to their dialogue, especially great Quentin Tarantino dialogue. So a lot of people kind of look at it like Shakespeare, and sometimes when you don't get the punctuations and the rhythm of the line, he'll point that out. But, you know, to contradict that, he also allows these moments of improvisation where he just lets the scene go and things sort of happen. And so it's a combination of both, but he's incredible with actors.
Yeah, he's really
incredible. He really is. Really gives you ownership and freedom, I would say. And
Yeah. He's having so much fun himself. It's pretty infectious.
Well, he does the song thing, and one more because we like making movies.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
There's a lot of like group.
Morale. He's incredibly enthusiastic about being able to make movies. He loves movies. He's, you know, I mean, that's,
And it's infectious.
and he literally is on set and like has this thing, goes, you know, let's do one more take, and the whole crew chants, why? Because we love making movies. It's this great great joy that he has to be on set, to be a working director. You know, it's pretty amazing.
Now, you guys have worked with it before, but you haven't. Did you know that there's this chant, or did it freak
I was
you the fuck out?
completely like, what are they doing? There was like a party with like wine and margaritas. It was like every 1,000 rolls of film. It was all crazy. One thing to add about Quentin is just the littlest things. You know, he doesn't say action all the time. Like when I was there, he probably sensed I was like nervous. He's always like, okay, Bruce, you're with your crew, teach them. And I just thought that was like the most amazing thing to help me get into character. So they're right. He's absolutely magical with actors. So.
And like I said, the two of you obviously have worked with him before. Has he changed at all from the first time you worked with him to this time?
No, I mean, felt the same to me. I mean, I don't know, do you feel the same? Like it was the same joy and spirit and energy and
But also it's like his attention to detail, to smaller characters, to create this sort of ecosystem on set. And I feel like, you know, he definitely has plans for specific shots, and he has this, but he, you know, like I remember during Django and Shane, we were at Candyland Ranch, and just endless days of sort of shooting atmosphere and people until he hones in on what the scene is about, you know? And you can often see that in the directing sometimes. It's like all these different flavors and you know, these characters coexisting, but then he zooms in on what he wants that scene to be about. It's, you know, I think, I don't know specifically, but I've heard him say that oftentimes he knows what he wants the scene to project, but he kind of throws away his shot list. And he wants to see what the actors give him, or what life the scene sort of, you know, brings out, and then shoots according to that.
yeah, he's nimble that way. And even the last fight scene, I mean, the last with the Manson gang, there was some of it was scripted, you know, some of the big hits like Dog Hand to the Forehead, but but he was building this bit by bit. Like he was started out, we shot that in sequence, and he was like molding it and honing it as we went, and he was setting the shots. You know, we've got that one, and then what's going to be the next one. So for me, in my experience, that takes great confidence and a great belief in touch.
And he makes everyone check their cell phones, right?
Oh, God, yes.
I mean, yeah, I said this before, but this whole experience was like doing a film in 1969. No cell phones, we're doing it on film. I mean, the seriousness of it was like a throwback of the way people used to make
At the
movies.
end of the day, though, did everyone run to where their cell phone was?
No, funny enough, not really. Like, people got into the old swing of it, I guess.
He wants that focus.
Yeah.
One thing about his set is that everybody wants to be there. You know,
Yeah.
I think everybody, it's like the most important thing. Their job is the most important thing. So, you know, time passes like that on that set.
And everyone's kind of incredibly excited to be working on a Tarantino movie. The guy's a badass. You know, and you just feel this palpable energy that all the actors, the entire crew is at the top of their game, focused and there to do their job. And it's quite energizing, and there's an electricity in the air on the set.
Tell me about the day that energy, everything just worked out exactly right, and you just felt it, like what you were just talking about. Is there one day that sticks out?
Guys? Every day, I guess.
I'd say my scene with Miss Butters. We got to do that scene together. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Tell me what, I mean, I know, and Julie knows this, I started Can, and literally the first thing I tweeted was like,
The sort of Manson story, but what was fascinating about Tarantino's approach on this, and in reference to what, you know, he did in Inglourious Basterds, which is killing Hitler, he assumes, and when I read the script, he assumes people know as much about the night of the Manson murder and all the people and players that were involved like they would about Hitler not getting killed in World War II by the Inglourious lawyers. So I was kind of confused, and it's so singularly a part of Quentin Tarantino's mind that he would take you off on this sort of red herring and lead up to this, and then all of a sudden have this strange sort of cathartic redemption, which in a weird way for me was like his redemption of that time period, the age of, you know, great cinema and the culture changing and everything changing in America. It was like his homage to what could have been in the town that he grew up in and loved.
I see it that way. There's a real inherent sweetness to Quentin that you don't see necessarily always in the films or when he's excited talking about films. But there's a real inherent sweetness in him. And, you know, I just see this kid who was growing up with films, television, probably spent a lot of time alone, and they became his, but I mean, I'm really kind of moved by this, that it became his, like his direction. It became, he found his values through that. And there is, back to what I'm saying is there's a really sweet side to him. And I get moved by the ending because it is precisely that. Wouldn't that be nice if we could live in that world where those kind of things don't happen, you know, that it's vanquished and the good guys win, and it comes from a really sincere place from him, and I'm moved by it. I get moved when I see them, the camera pulls up and everyone's okay.
I started to get chronic headaches that day, so I knew the flamethrower thing was coming back up again. But it was in the open air, thank God, and I didn't have to have the same.
I did have a laugh when I saw it on the call sheet. It said LDC, flamethrower rehearsal.
And whose line was sauerkraut? Who said sauerkraut?
Oh, that was a quick one.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Awesome. Brad, can I get a picture with you?
We can't do that.
You go,
right now.
you get on the run?
Yes, I sure
Okay.
can.
Go.